What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new YouTube video. This is Mo Crypto, and guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys a little bit more about Huntex and the recent tournament that just ended. So thank you to everybody who's actually participated in the tournament. We have over 22 members. I don't remember the last video how much I said we had in the team. I don't even remember if I said a number, but during the week we ended up with 22 members in the team. Now, granted, not everybody joined in the tournament. I don't know if anybody knew how to join in the tournament. That's something that I failed to explain in the video that I did last time. But anyways, we started off the week super strong, and I had some screenshot posted on my Telegram. Let me just pull it up. So as you guys can see, we started off the week super strong. I mean, this was the first trade that I ever placed on in this tournament, and it placed us as number one, right? So this was before anybody even knew that the tournament started. This was when I first wake up in the morning. The tournament had just started like a few minutes ago, and I just happened to be the only one that was available to make a trade at the start of the tournament. So we started off really strong, and then we ended up being strong for like 2-3 days. We were at top place, number one. So we were on the road to getting 2,500, but then there's so many other teams that started joining. I mean, we had 3 pages worth of teams that joined. A lot of these people actually did some good trades. Some people were just doing it, you know, just to pass some time. But some people on the first page, they were in it to win it. I mean, some of these teams, you guys can see, especially the top 10, a lot of profit has been made. You can see the volume generated from all the leverage trade, leverage volume. You can see upwards of 3 million in volume. This is taking into consideration the amount of leverage they've used, right? So if you look at Trap's team, I mean, shout out to Trap. I mean, these guys in this team, Defi Doodlebob and Trap Defi, they made some crazy profits in that competition, in that tournament. But their team did upwards of 30 million in volume, right? So you guys can see the power of Huntex, and this is where I'm gonna be saying this in today's video. This is extremely addictive, and it's extremely degenerate. It's extremely risky. So unless you're willing to take that risk, then this is not for you. The tournament ended, but the application is still live. Everybody's still trading using the application. So you can go ahead and use the Telegram app. I'm going to link it in the description down below. You can still use it. I mean, you guys can see that they have from week 1 up until week 9, which just ended. They have 9 weeks worth of tournaments so far. So they're coming on to the 10th week next week. There's going to probably be another either individual tournament or it's going to be a team tournament. So I really suggest you guys to try out the demo version so you can practice, right? Because there are many things that you need to take into consideration when getting into leverage trading. It's not as easy as a lot of people think. Yes, there's a lot of money to be made here, right? So the first place, Trap's team, they made 2,500. Second place, Bitcoin Moonshots, they made $1,000 in profits sent to their wallets. Third place, 750. Fourth place, 500. Our team actually made it to the 5th place, so we ended up the competition with a total profit of 62%, which is very good in my opinion, and we lost about 37% of trades, and we made close to 9 million in volume, which is impressive. We made $2,300 of profit. Guys, congratulations to all the team members that actually participated in the tournament. I'm super proud of you guys, and all the coupons with all the profits that we've made at 250, I've distributed that to everybody, so you can go ahead and cash that in. But essentially next week's competition, there's going to be another set of prizes, right? So it might be lucrative, it might look good, but unless you've done your research on what leverage trading is, they do have an education tab over here. You can go over all the super cool information here. Channel trading, what time frame to use, right? So I'm gonna tell you guys exactly what time frame I'm going to be using, because it's very risky, the type of trades you might be getting into. There's a lot of education that could be done when it comes to leverage trading, right? So you just have to do your research before even getting started. Now you might be asking yourself, why do people even leverage trade, right? So leverage trading is addictive, that's the first thing, but leverage trading opens so many different opportunities, right? So what happens is, let's say you're trading a trade of $100, right? But then you leverage trade it at 100x. So that magnifies the power of your trade. So essentially, So if you guys can see, when you multiply $100 by 100x, it gives you $10,000. So it's like you're trading with a power of $10,000 that you're borrowing from the platform, which enables you to get trades much faster, but also might have you lose the trade much faster as well, right? And what tends to happen many times is that once you place a trade, suddenly the chart goes the other direction. So you really have to know what you're doing, right? The reason why I'm mentioning this is because you have to always make sure you choose the right time frame, you choose the right trading amount, and you use the right leverage, because yes, you might be making more money, but the platform is also taking more fees. So you always have to make sure what the fees of that individual trade is, because that's going to allow you to close the trade when you're satisfied with your profit, taking into consideration the fees that the platform is going to be taking, so you're left with a decent chunk of profit. And the reason why I'm saying that this way is because I've closed trades before that I thought I was profitable in, but because of the amount of margin that I took and the amount of leverage that I took, I ended up getting a loss on that trade because the platform fees for that specific trade was larger than the profits that I made. It might look good that I made $5 in profit, but if the platform takes 10, then I'm at a loss of $5. So this is very important, right? So when you take a trade, you have to click on the trade right away, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Once you click on it, it tells you this is going to be a fee of $3. So make sure to get more profits than 3 so you can keep that difference in price. So one thing also that I learned over the past week is that a lot of us think we're invincible, but we are going to be losing a lot of money, right? So if you don't know what you're doing, if this is brand new to you, I'm using Huntex to learn leverage trading. I'm using amounts of money that I think I'm risking, but I'm also able to risk it because I'm tolerant to that risk. And you should do the same. Don't use $10,000 if you're scared to losing $100, right? If you're scared to losing $100, then start with $50. Start with your demo account. You're not losing any money. You're just using the platform's $200, $300, right? So a lot of us think we're invincible, but we are going to be losing a lot of money. So prior to taking these trades, use demo accounts, learn what leverage trading is, learn different strategies, learn how to draw on the Telegram bots chart to be able to kind of estimate where the chart is headed, to be able to maximize on the wins versus the losses, right? So as I showed you guys before, the team that we had this past week, our average was about 62.98%. So let's say 63% of profits. So we technically made more profitable trades than losses, which is good, but I'm always aiming for that 70% profit, 30% loss, because that's always going to make you a bit happier, right? Always aim for 100, but 70% in leverage trading is pretty good. So for example, Trap's team, they made it as number 1, but their profit was also 75%. So that is a brilliant team. If you're looking at something like the Stun Squad, right? So they had a lot of members. If you look at the list of members, they had like 19 members. So everybody here had a bunch of different averages, which is why their profit came down to 67%. So that in terms of profitable trades, it's not the best, but they also played with a lot more volume, which made them end up in the 3rd spot. So congratulations to them, much deserved. Now when you are trading in Telegram, right? When you're trading in Telegram, you're gonna not Telegram. When you're actually trading, you want to make sure that you're choosing the right opportunity, right? So when you see the chart do this kind of move, that's when you know the probability for the chart to keep going down is very high. So what I'm going to do is, for example, I'm going to do a $5 trade at a 500x, and I'm going to place that trade because I have a high possibility of that chart to go down, and let's see what's going to happen. So the chart kept going down. I'm at a 50% PNL, right? So I click on that and I see that my fee for that trade is 25 cents. So I want to make sure to always close the trade above 25 cents so that I can maximize on the profits that I earn, right? So right now it says 5.80%, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I made 5% of that trade because they're taking fees, right? Right now you see it says $1. I can close the trade right now, right? But why would I close a trade if I know that it's going to keep going down? So I'm just going to wait it out a little bit and see what's going to happen. Maybe it's going to go to $1.50 and then I'm going to close it, right? So you want to always make sure to find the opportunity before placing the trade. Don't just come on the chart and place a trade and hope for the best. That's gonna always lead to a negative outcome. So as we can see, the chart actually did some kind of reversal, but thankfully I do have a stop loss set. So this is gonna be something that I also wanted to give you guys as a tip. Always set stop losses, because stop losses can help you not lose $5. You're actually just going to lose a specific amount that you set. And I set my stop loss to about 30%, which is the minimum that you can set the stop loss at. So I always set it around 30% depending on what kind of trades I put myself in. So I found a good opportunity. I didn't close it at $1.40. I should have, but my stop loss is actually going to save me from losing 50% if it touches the stop loss and it makes me lose like the $1.20 or whatever it is. $1.50, right? I'm gonna end up losing $1.50. So that was one of the other tips I wanted to give you guys. When you're doing trades, always set stop losses, because that's gonna sometimes really save you a world of trouble. Yeah, so you guys can see over here, we actually hit the stop loss at $1.42, so that ended up being a negative trade, right? But sometimes when you see a trade, I did a $61 trade earlier at a $400x leverage, and I made $9 approximately, so I just ended up closing it. That was a great opportunity for me. So I just closed it, and it cleared the market fee of $2.44. So I ended up making roughly $657. So for me, that's a pretty good trade. I closed it. I was pretty happy. Now, you guys are going to see over here that I've been doing a lot of very high leverage, right? So I'm doing 500, 400, 1,000, 700. A lot of these trades I'm winning, but a lot of the other trades I'm actually losing, you see? So I'm doing a lot of good wins, but I'm also doing a lot of losses. And what I realized during the last week of trading is that a lot of the times whenever I do lose a trade, it's when I hit the stop loss or when I actually do a trade at the wrong time with not a good opportunity, not a good setup, without doing any TA, even though TA is not 100% guaranteed, without doing a little bit of research, without looking at the 30-minute, for example, to see what the trend is in the market. Sometimes your trades are not going to be the best. So sometimes what ends up happening is that because the leverage is so high, I end up getting liquidated at larger amounts versus the wins that I do, which are smaller. So I just end up losing most of my portfolio's net, right? So what I suggest you guys to do, especially in the next couple of days, is to practice trading using lower margins, right? So what I'm going to be doing, for example, lower leverages, not margins. So what I'm going to be doing, for example, is I'm seeing right now that there's a big red candle in the chart. So I'm thinking there's going to be some kind of reversal at the 30-minute mark, right? But if I go down to the 5-minute, what we see here in the 5-minute chart is that there has been some really red candles, right? So there's 3 red candles, but there's a green candle that's forming. So we can do 2 things. We can go back to the 5 seconds and see what exactly is happening, right? So we can see that there's some kind of red reversal happening here, but it's not 100% guaranteed. So we can wait it out a little bit. And if we can see that the chart keeps going up, if we look, for example, at the 1-minute, right, we can see that the next kind of resistance is around this area. Let me just draw a line. Let's say we draw a line over here, and then we draw a line somewhere around here. Somewhere around here. If you see that, for example, the chart broke those resistances, right, and they kept them as supports, then this could kind of mean that there's some kind of reversal pattern that you might want to set a long. So I can set, for example, a $5 at a 50x, right? What that's gonna do is that once it hits 69,400, then that could be considered a liquidation. But I'm gonna set a long, right? So the long means that as long as I don't hit 67,000 in Bitcoin, then I'm always gonna be not liquidated, right? Depending on when I open my position. Or you can set a short if you think that the reversal, not reversal, but if the trend keeps that red candle going down, 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 right? If it keeps going down, then in that scenario, you're just gonna want to short and hope that your $5 margin at 50x is gonna end up being very lucrative if Bitcoin actually goes down all the way to the 66,000, 65,000. A lot of people made a lot of money doing shorts and longs like that. Like it could make a lot of people a lot of money. You always have to analyze your charts, looking at the 1 hour, right? Always look at the higher time frames first. One of the traders in my team told me that, one of my good friends. Always look at the higher time frame. I look at the 1 hour, right? And then I go down to the 30 minutes. And then while still analyzing what's going on, look at the 5 minutes. You can see some reversal happening over here. And I'm going to end with the 5 seconds. But, you know, this is going to be very degenerate kind of trading. You guys can see it broke that that resistance. This is kind of considered as support right now. But for example, if it hits, in my opinion, I'm not sure, I'm not a 100% trader here, but if it hits this line and then it goes back down, it might come back and touch the support line again. So this could be a potential for a short. But if it breaks this line and it keeps going up, then it's going to go and touch that next resistance. So there's so many things to learn here in Huntex, guys. So many different strategies in leverage trading. So I hope I kind of told you guys something interesting here so you guys can learn some strategies for the next tournament. I really highly suggest you guys join. It was really fun. Before we end today's video, I know this video is super long. Before we end it, let me just do one more trade and hoping for the best and see what's gonna happen, right? So we entered a short position because I saw that it's reversing down. It's not a high margin, high leverage, but you can see that my fee is 2 cents. I can choose to close right now. I'm gonna be in profit, or I can just choose to see where that is headed. I'm actually gonna close it because this is a very low trade. For the sake of this video, I want to make a trade that's going to generate a lot of profit quickly. Oh, that was actually a good thing because it went back up the other way. But when you're leveraging for a trade for the day, for example, look at the pattern for Bitcoin and what it's doing, and then trade that way so that you can trade at a smaller leverage without fearing to lose your position, right? So I entered this trade. I put the max amount in my wallet at 1000x, right? This is super degen, but it's for the sake of this video. You guys can see that my fee is $6.68. So unless I clear that, I'm kind of going to be at a loss, right? So I'm hoping that Bitcoin is going to keep dumping for a little bit. If not, it's going to reverse and hit my stop loss. But instead of losing $66, I'll be losing the stop loss, which is set at $20, right? $3.30, $7.45. Close the trade. We close with a profit. You guys can see that we made $7.46. The fee was $6.68. We made about a dollar and a few cents, or just slightly under a dollar. At least it's still some kind of profit. You never know what the market is going to be doing, right? This could reverse at any moment, especially at 1000x. Super risky, which is why I'm saying if you're not doing a video, if you're not degen like me, you can just set it to like 20, and you can see that when you set it at 20, for example, unless the price hits 70,000, you're not going to get liquidated and you're going to stay hopefully in some kind of profit. So guys, if you have any question about anything, please leave it in the comment section below. Please join us on Telegram. So my link to the Telegram, official community Telegram, so you guys can go ahead. There's a few topics over there. We talk about a bunch of crypto stuff, airdrop farming, Huntex, other projects. So please join us on Telegram. Super fun. And I'll see you guys in the next video.